Right, it's now time to bring you AM Business Ketsi EcoBank, the Pan-African Bank. And today, some chief executive officers of local businesses are complaining about the inconsistencies in decisions surrounding government's debt exchange program. Let's bring you the details now.
In accordance with the debt exchange program, the CEOs at the forum urged the government to be proactive in its engagement with diverse stakeholders. Former boss of defunct UT Bank, Prince Kofi Amoabeng, stated that a concerted effort is crucial for economic recovery.
The problem I have with all these things is that the government should come out one time after he's done his research with committees and everything and say, this is the way we're going, not change your position from one day to the other. Because pensioners complain, okay, this one is not part of it. Because this one, we are looking at it and so, why? Get grace with the full facts and come out and then explain to the people one time, this is why we're doing it. And if you have to even withdraw, come back and say that we had to change because we've realized that so and so, and apologize for it. Because you can't just throw any information to the people. It has to be on sound basis, and of course you can make mistakes, but at least come out openly and apologize for it, because this is not what I said. Because certain things, we won't go to IMF, then we'll go to IMF. We won't do haircut, then we'll do haircut. Really, that's not the way to respect Ghanaians. The issue about Ghana's foreign exchange rate is a pathetic one. In 1983, the rate of the cedi to a dollar was officially 2.75 old cedis to a dollar. This is about 30 years ago. Now, unofficially it was about 20 cedis to a dollar. That's the black market. So from 2.75 cedis to a dollar, if you throw away, or if you add back the zeros we threw away, if you take the cedi to be now at 10 cedis to a dollar, you are talking that it's now 100,000 cedis to a dollar. Which currency will move from 2.75 to 100,000 in 30 years? And it's not as if the dollar is even that solid and stable. It suffers its own inflation and things. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is that the cedi has never held its own against any major currency. And the factors that account for this is we have a change in lifestyle. We have a change in values. What I mean lifestyle, I mean by the foods that we used to eat, the things that we wanted for ourselves and our family and things like that. It's changed. As I said, in every home in the south of Ghana, every evening, every home, they had to pound fufu. And that is local food. Now everybody's eating rice, which we don't grow. We have to import even toothpick after we've eaten our rice and whatever to use on our teeth. And if it comes to health, Kolebu used to be first-class hospital. And Ghanaians, top Ghanaians all went to Kolebu. Now the politicians and the so-called top people go outside. If it comes to education, you'll be amazed how many people attend graduations outside when it comes to the end of semester. But we used to have great schools, the Mfantsipin, the Sada, Achimota, and all these people. But now we've spoiled the level of education to a point that we need dollars to pursue whatever our desires.
On his part, Managing Director for FBN Bank Ghana, Victor Yawasanti, explained that the program has affected the operations of the bank.
We've been engaging all players, which will be the government. The government is the one who's basically rolling it out. And whatever they do, they have implications for us and therefore our regulators as well. So there's been a lot of engagement since the announcement was made. Indeed, yesterday was the last major engagement between the banks and central government on some of the things we need, because we believe government has pretty much wrapped up on what it wants to change. There's been a lot of back and forth from the bankers' perspective, which is fed into some of the changes that came through. So that has also happened. So we wait to see. It's 16th, so we have a few days to go. So wait to see. We are now going to bake in all the changes and so on and see how it pans out. Well, if they give it to us, we'll be very happy. We can't pay and therefore we're in trouble. So if there will be cancellation, it's also always one of the conversations that go on when people are distressed, whether some of it can be forgiven. So if we can get debt forgiveness, all the better. But for now, what we know is what's on the table is for the debt exchange, which basically means that you term out or you try to we are in default, as it were. We are in default, and we just having an agreement, orderly agreement, to try and pay back what we owe over a period of time through a negotiation. So that's what is on the table. If we get some freebies here and there, thank God for it, and hopefully it will mean that it will be less painful. What happened at the beginning of the year, our debts went up. Revenue didn't come as much as they thought. New taxes that they thought they could roll out didn't happen, and then we were kicked out of the international market. It became a self-fulfilling prophecy where one thing led to the other, one thing led to the other, and we got to a position we knew at this point we cannot pay. It's going to affect everybody, the country, private sector, public sector, everybody's in it. It has many implications. There's liquidity problems. Banks are worried that we may not have liquidity because most banks, if we really implement it the way they've said, we won't have liquidity. So those are part of the engagements we'll be having with the regulator and central bank about how we manage the liquidity. Because if we don't have liquidity, we can't support the private sector.
Former president for the Association of Ghana Industries, James Ejay, entreated the government to strengthen its industrialization program in order to boost the economy.
And we think that what we're looking for or what we need as a country is boosting local production, supporting indigenous Ghanaian businesses, particularly in manufacturing. Government must come out boldly, support commercial agriculture, support industrialists who want to go into agriculture. What we've seen again in the past few months had been business owners who have decided to go into agriculture and then produce their raw materials so that they will reduce the reliance on raw material importation. Unfortunately, local businesses, especially in the productive sector, manufacturing, depend so much on imports, and over, 90% probably of manufacturing businesses in the country import raw materials. And these are some of the challenges affecting our currency, the stability of our currency.
The goal of the Maiden Magdan Business Forum was to bring together the business community to discuss important issues affecting the economy. For Joy Business, James Ishen.